Have you ever wondered why some people, as they get older and older, they continue to do well? They even thrive until up until their later years. And then you have other people the same age, and they just seem to hit a wall. They hit a wall, everything goes to pieces, and they really plummet. Very interesting how that can occur, and I want to speak to you about that today. I have three really interesting, if not comical, stories for you that I think you'll get a lot out of. And they're all very different, these people, but they all have a common thread. And I think it will be very evident to you. And at the end of the video, I want to give you a fast twitch muscle exercise, fantastic exercise. I think will be very beneficial for you also. So 3 stories. I'm a PT, I'm a physical therapist. I've been doing this over 20 years. Needless to say, I have met some very interesting characters along the way. These 3 really stand out though for me. Number 1, we have Peggy. Peggy, I'm a home physical therapist now, so I'm driving out to these people's homes and doing evaluations. So I looked at Peggy's chart. She's in her late 70s, 78, I believe, and she injured her back. She strained her back. So I drive out to Peggy's home. She lives in this gated community. There's a guard there you have to get through. You give him your information. As I'm driving through, he looks at me and smirks and he says, "Have a good time." So I'm not sure what that's all about, but I'm weaving through the different streets trying to find Peggy's home. And I look over my right shoulder. I see an older gentleman. He's out with his hose watering his grass, and he has nothing on. Not a stitch. Not even socks. He's naked, watering his grass. So, I'm not sure what to think about this. Maybe he's a little confused. He looked like he was having a good time though, so I just let him be. So I get to Peggy's home and I knock on the door. Peggy opens the door. She's wearing a nightgown, but there's not much to it. I would find out that I am in fact in a senior nudist community. Yeah, that right in the middle of it. So I somehow am able to get through that. I start asking Peggy about her back. She takes me in her backyard. Beautiful. All these wild flowers, exotic plants all over the place. This is what Peggy does all day. She spends her day back here. She told me she has these 50-pound bags of mulch. She told me this is how she injured her back. She was moving about 25 of them one day. Again, 50-pound bags. She's moving 25 of them. She told me it was a little wet outside. She twisted a little bit and she strained her back. Peggy, needless to say, went on to do very well, but just keep that in mind. That's Peggy's daily activity. She's outside all day lifting these heavy bags. She's lunging, she's squatting, nonstop every day. Peggy, the nudist. We move on now. Number 2, we have Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom had a fall. So I'm driving out to see Mr. Tom. He's 83 years old. Knock on the door swings open. This big barrel-chested man grabs my hand, almost crushes my hand. His strength is unbelievable. We get in his home. It's filled with rolled up newspaper up to my knees. All these alarms are going off in my head. What is this? We wade through the newspaper. We sit down at his table and I ask him, "Tom, what happened? You okay? I see you had a fall." He laughs. He starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, it was nothing. I tripped over Snoopy." Snoopy. So I start to try to connect some dots. Snoopy, he must have a puppy. He's trying to potty train him. He's rolling up all this paper. I don't know. He's rolling up all this paper to potty train Snoopy. I said, oh, okay. I said, where's Snoopy? Is he in the backyard? And he's like, "Oh, no. Do you want to meet him?" I said, "Sure." Tom proceeds to get on the floor. Remember, he's 83. He's crawling around on the floor, separating the newspaper, reaches down, comes up with this huge snake. Snoopy the snake. I think it was a boa constrictor. It was huge. Had to be 80 to 90 pounds. Tom reaches down, picks it up over his head, wraps it around him. 85-pound snake. This is what Tom does all day. He crawls around, he picks Snoopy up, he walks around with Snoopy on him. Again, 85 to 90-pound snake at least. Tom's 83. This is what Tom does every day. So we have Peggy the nudist and Tom the serpent trainer. Number 3, Marie. Marie, in her early 80s, she broke her wrist. I assumed she had fallen. She had put out an arm to brace herself and she snapped her wrist. That was my assumption. Knock on Marie's door. This elegant older woman opens the door. Incredible shape, incredible condition, very toned. You could see she was stable, well balanced. I'm thinking, what's going on? I look down, she has a soft brace on her wrist. This is Marie. I'm thinking, how could this woman have fallen? Marie takes me downstairs. She has this huge open room full of every type of fitness equipment you can think of. She takes me over to a heavy bag that boxers use. She's like, I was working on the heavy bag. Remember, early 80s, I was working on the heavy bag. I hit it awkwardly and I broke my wrist. I said, Marie, you were hitting the heavy bag. She went on to tell me she hits the heavy bag every day. 15 to 20 minutes every day. She's pounding that bag. That's how she broke her wrist. That's Marie. Think of her activity level. So again, we have Peggy the nudist, who's out gardening all day, lifting, squatting, deadlifting, lunging. We have Tom, the serpent trainer, crawling around, lifting 85-pound snake on his Snoopy on his shoulders, walking around this house with Snoopy. And then we have Marie, the pugilist, the fighter, who's hitting that heavy bag on a daily basis, lunging, squatting. I think you can see the common thread here. They are all on a consistent basis engaged in fast twitch muscle type of exercises, activities. They're doing it. They're all older. They have incredible quality of life. They all have passions they're enjoying. And I'm sure they are going to continue that for years and years to come, if not up until their last year of life. I hope that hits home with you. You don't have to be a nudist lifting 50-pound mulch bags or 85 years old carrying Snoopy around, and you don't have to be hitting heavy bags, but you absolutely have to be involved consistently on engaging those fast twitch muscle fibers. That's what it's all about. That's what we want in our later years for quality and independence. I think you will remember those stories, so I think that will be very helpful to you. Let me give you an exercise, a fast twitch muscle exercise that you can start doing today. If you do not have any medical contraindications to exercise, if you're not in any pain, you can start doing this today. And as I stated with my 3 stories, you'll live life on your terms. You'll have a much higher probability of living life on your terms as you get older and older. Let me show you one. This one's really effective. I love it. It adds so many components of health and fitness. You just need some carpet, or you can use a mat or put some pillows down. You get down on one knee, and I just want you to push off that lead leg. You're going to push off and raise up and come back to the floor. So again, you're going to drive off the lead leg, push up, raise the arms up, and come down. Start slowly. If you're having trouble with this movement, it's okay to get to your kitchen counter and just start this movement by itself. Coming up and down, lowering down, keeping your posture, flexing your knees and hips. You can lift your rear heel off the ground. Use that counter. And as you start to progress, you can start to wean off the counter and do it without external support. Very powerful. You're going to be using a lot of very powerful muscle groups that are just inundated with fast twitch muscle fibers. So you're going to really isolate them. As you get more proficient with this type of movement, I want you to ramp up the speed. Speed is it's a critical part of stimulating the fast twitch muscle fibers. So once you have the mechanics down, once you're sound with it, once you're safe with it, I want you to ramp up the speed in which you do it. 30-second intervals. That's all you have to do. 30-second intervals, and I almost lost my lighting. 30-second intervals is all you have to do. 30 seconds on one leg, alternate, do 30 seconds on the other leg. You don't have to do this a lot. Try to do it 3 times a week. Maybe do 3 sets on each leg, 30-second intervals. Again, once you're sound with the mechanics, once you're safe and confident, start to ramp up that speed. See how many repetitions you can do within that 30 seconds. Let that be your goal. If you can do 10 in a couple weeks, see if you can bump up to doing 12 in 30 seconds. Alternate 3 times a week, maybe 3 sets on each leg. The results will speak for themselves. You'll be in the same company as Peggy, Tom, and Marie. I hope that helps you guys. Again, this is really, really important information. If you're interested, if this really resonates with you, I have made a course on fast twitch muscle exercises for active seniors. Anyone can do this as long as you do not have any medical contraindications to exercise and you're not in pain. Anyone can do these exercises. They're very challenging, but that's the point. That's what we have to do. We have to engage in these types of exercises to have that quality later on in life. So if you're interested, I've prepared this course. I'll leave the information below. And again, it is a difference maker. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.